is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot on my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Taking no else, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change, yeah. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. I do not gamble, but bet on me. Tell them that's life, yeah, it's still la vie. I'm taking a shot for my enemies. I can't waste no more time on my energy. I know they know I got it on lock. Go against me, that's a long shot. Cause I'm counting wins all around the clock. Never doubt me, boy, I don't stop. Who do you feel when they make you the monster? I am not scared of none of you imposters. Taking the lead now while they watching. Think you should leave now while the option. Taking no else, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down, no.
Welcome to another edition of the It's Cavalier podcast. It's your boy Mac, and today we highlight Cavs swingman Isaac Okoro, a young man who has often been underappreciated, I feel, for his contributions to a very defensive-minded team in the Cavaliers in years past. Now, this summer, the Cavs front office's summer goal apparently was to maintain the team's continuity, something that I honestly feel a lot of people take for granted, and they just really underrate and undervalue these days. Continuity matters, folks. They wanted to keep their talented young core together and build off of last year's playoff run, which saw them win their first playoff series together and advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals against a Boston Celtics team that was absolutely fucking stacked. Nobody thought that they had a shot to win, especially so after the injuries to Jarrett and Donovan Mitchell following that. They met that goal and then some this offseason, with Donovan Mitchell re-upping, Evan Mobley got a shiny new extension, and Jarrett Allen was rewarded with a brand new extension himself after a very good 2023-24 campaign. However, there was still one lingering question that remained after all of those signings. That was none other than what to do with Isaac Okoro, a talented, albeit flawed wing who had failed to impress during the 2023-24 postseason on the offensive end. Something that has honestly happened 2 postseasons in a row, once against the Knicks and now against the Magic and the Celtics. And to that point, Okoro averaged just 5.5 points, 1.8 rebounds, and 1.1 assists while completing just 35.7% of his field goals, including 25.7% of his triples. It was not really a great showing, right, from an offensive standpoint, but it doesn't necessarily take away from the progress that he has made during the regular season. In year 4, Isaac Okoro put together quite possibly his most impactful season to date. He would average 9.4 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist while knocking down 49% of his shots, including a career best 39.1% of his 3-point attempts. His 1.2 threes made per game were his best to date, and he also did so in just 27.3 minutes per game for the Cavs in time split between the starting lineup and the bench. And look, if you're an Isaac Okoro hater, I mean, I don't know what the fuck else to tell you. There's probably nothing that I can say to you that would change your mind. You're probably ready to move on. But guess what? He's here. Got to deal with it. What I can say is that for all the playoff struggles, Isaac Okoro has improved as a player since entering the league as an extremely raw talent out of Auburn, where he only spent 1 season with the Tigers. He's not quite the level of shooter that you want him to be, but when you consider that he went from 29% in year 1 to 39.1% in year 4, that's growth, in my opinion. There's been an increase in efficiency every season in that regard, and though the volume is not where you want it to be, he still made the most of his looks, at least during the regular season. But we're not necessarily here to talk about him in that light. Today we are here to discuss the future. Isaac Okoro, who literally signed his new contract just 2 weeks before training camp started, is already impressing new coach Kenny Atkinson through his performance so far at camp. Apparently, he was seen getting a big defensive stop and draining a corner triple to seal the victory in a highly competitive scrimmage. Now, y'all know when I hear some shit like that, the thing that immediately pops into my mind is that Nets game where he drilled the game winner off a Karis LeVert feed. That type of thing just warms my heart because I like to see this dude succeed. I know he's put in the work to improve that shot, and I know that is going to continue in year 5. Kenny Atkinson was asked about him, and he was quoted as saying the following: "I do think we need to diversify his game. He's defense first. That's his strength. So we'll double down on that, and I think we'll use him as a cutter, more of a slasher cutter and offensive rebounding. I think those are 2 areas we can raise his game." And I would say probably the last thing is to use him in the pick and roll as a role guy a little bit. He gets in the pocket, gets downhill, and can make plays. He's talented enough. I just think we got to put him in the right positions to raise his game. And to me, that's pretty telling about how they want to use Isaac and tap into some of these areas that JB Bickerstaff maybe kind of neglected or overlooked, because there is some things that Isaac can do that just were not utilized correctly. And I think increasing the pace, getting the ball moving a little bit more, that is definitely going to help out a player who excels in transition like in Isaac Okoro. And per Cavs.com's article by Joe Gabriel, Okoro had 7 straight games with at least 1 steal and block, which was the longest stretch since LeBron James in 2010. Just impressive stuff to me. Joe Gabriel also sat down with him and asked him a series of questions, and his answers were pretty telling in my opinion. The first question that was asked was, when you finally signed your deal in mid-September, was there a feeling of relief? And Isaac Okoro responded with, yeah, it was definitely a relief. Summer was pretty long for me. Knowing I was a restricted free agent, I wasn't on any team, didn't know. I mean, I knew I was going to come back to Cleveland, but I just didn't know when. So it was a long process just working out one-on-one with my trainer and stuff like that. Not being able to do 5-on-5, 4-on-4, or actually go against people to get into basketball shape. I'm in shape, but I'm not in basketball shape where you're actually playing against guys. People usually take the time during the summer to do that, but I wasn't able to because I didn't want to get hurt, fail a physical, or anything like that. It was different for me in that aspect this offseason. So it was definitely like a sigh of relief, and I'm able to go back to the team I've always been with to get in the gym with them, start to learn the sets and offensive schemes, get to know the new coach, and actually play against people. Now, I imagine that last part, that's something that he has probably been dying to do. And I do understand, like, look, I'm not trying to get injured. I'm not trying to get fucked up. I'm not trying to do this in a contractual situation where I'm a restricted free agent. I want to fuck up my money. So I get what he is saying. You can be in shape, but you may not necessarily be in basketball shape. And when asked about his level of contact with teammates, which is just something that I was wondering about, how much contact did he actually have with some of his current teammates, Okoro responded candidly, stating, yeah, like I said, I always felt like I was coming back to Cleveland, so I was still in contact with some guys, not every day, but here and there. I still texted them, called them, and see how they're doing. He was even asked about wearing the wine and gold during his workouts and provided a good level of insight, stating that he knew the Cavs wanted him back, and he knew that he would be coming back, but they just kind of wanted to get everything right. And I assume that was centered around some of the extensions that were handed out and trying to sort out some of the money with not trying to pass the luxury tax and whatnot. He also mentioned that all he had was Cavs gear to wear for workouts and that he's a cheap guy, so he's not going to go buy anything else. The dude literally said verbatim, I'm going to wear the team's clothes that I think I'm going to play for. Come on, man. How can you not think that is not awesome? How can you not love that response? When he was asked about his mindset, he said, I just feel like it's a relief now. I have even more confidence to go out there and just play my game, not worrying about making mistakes or anything like that. Just go out there and playing free and playing to win. One of the most interesting things he was asked was about his role with the team and whether or not it had already been outlined. And his response was telling, in my opinion. He said, they've talked to me about having a new rule, not being a guy that's just stuck in a corner and waiting for catch and shoot shots, but a guy that's moving without the ball, cutting, setting screens, rolling, playmaking, just doing a variety of things. Atkinson doesn't want the offense to be stagnant with people standing around. He wants the ball to be moving, people to be cutting and moving. I love that. Is it me or Kenny Atkinson speaking our language? Like, in that last part, that wasn't me. That was Okoro's response to that. This dude knows what we want to see. And Isaac Okoro was also asked about what he worked on in the summer, and he was frank, stating, I worked a lot on building my shooting habits, catch and shoot, and being able to shoot with guys closing out. just different types of movements, ball handling, and finishing. Pretty much everything, but primarily the shooting, which is what we all want to see. We all want to see Isaac Okoro be able to punish people for leaving him wide open. And if they are going to start attacking him on the closeout, he's got to take advantage of that and just, make the shot, right? Make the shot, make the defense pay for leaving him open. I don't know. And then we harken back to the continuity discussion. He was asked about how important that continuity is, and he gave an encouraging response stating, it's very important. It's not like 2 or 3 or 4 new guys coming in, where now we have that kind of figure out what their role is, what they do best, and what they don't do well. We all know each other. We know when we get on the court what everybody's strengths and weaknesses are, how to make everybody use their strengths when they're on the court. Then when we're off the court, it's just a good time. It's good vibes, and we uplift each other. We have fun. We laugh. And when we're on the court, it's game time. We're competitive, and we just know each other. We know how to trust each other. And when we're out there, we just know we're going to be on the court. Isaac Okoro also appears to have taken to the new coaching staff as he was questioned on his first impressions of them, and his response was right in line with most of what some of the other players are saying. He said they're very detail oriented, they give you something to do and they tell you why, and they give you the meaning behind it. They don't just tell you, hey, go over there and do this, without telling you the meaning, the details behind it. They watch a ton of film, they just know the right spots and the right places for you to help you be successful. And then last but not least, he was asked about one of his personal goals, which is to make an all-defensive team. And Okoro kept it a buck, saying that is definitely still the goal, and he definitely still thinks he can get it. And he knows he has to hit the requirements, meaning the 65-game requirement. And I think you have to play at least 20 minutes per game. I think that's one of the other requirements. And then just let the work speak for itself. Also, quick aside, Okoro was quoted today as saying that he's super impressed with how quickly Jaylon Tyson has adapted to playing off the ball. He was quoted as saying he came in here and just knew we have Darius, we have Donovan. He's doing everything to fit in with what we're doing. Yet another point of praise for Jaylon Tyson. Everybody seems to love this dude. He also mentioned that he's more comfortable as an off-ball screener and thinks his playmaking and passing vision can create secondary plays and reads. I fucking love it, dude. Please, Kenny Atkinson, for the love of God, please use Isaac Okoro in this way, because there are just so many things that I think Okoro is capable of that he was never quite empowered to do under JB Bickerstaff. And I'm not necessarily using this to take a shot at JB, but I think JB was very ingrained in playing a certain play style and just kind of slotted Isaac Okoro into a very specific role. And that was usually just standing out on the corners and to get out and transition. I think there is so much more to Isaac Okoro's game. And look, whatever, what have you, however you feel about where he was drafted, I just encourage you to let the draft positioning go and just enjoy and evaluate Isaac Okoro as the player that he is. He's never likely to be a star, but he is a quality role player with the potential to get even better. And I think what we all want him to become is that real 3-and-D wing out there. And he's already got the defense part down. He's improved as a three-point shooter over the years. And now he just has to translate that on higher volume to the postseason, which I think will happen in 2024-25 under Kenny Atkinson. Go Cavs.